Hi, my name is Dr. Michelle Stanley, and I'm the flute professor at Colorado State University. And in this video, I'm going to give you tips on preparing Colorado All-State Band and Orchestra audition excerpts for 2016. Every year, I hear students prepare these excerpts, and I hope to help you work on these pieces too. A great audition starts with early preparation. It is easy to look at these excerpts and think they look simple and that they don't need a lot of lead time to prepare. That might be true, but it's only true once you actually learn the excerpts. It is great to practice as early as possible so that you're feeling comfortable with the music as the audition gets nearer. Plan your practicing so that these excerpts are old friends on audition day. One thing I want to stress to you as you start practicing these pieces, don't just work on notes and rhythms. While those are very important, they aren't the only thing on the page. I think it's important to remember that you need to stand out in your performance. Standing out means playing with dynamics, beautiful phrasing, thoughtful breathing, and great intonation. And it can be the difference between a successful audition and an unsuccessful audition. Since learning the correct notes and rhythms is still important, try to learn the right notes and rhythms early on in the learning, even if the tempos are under the marked tempi. Another tip for audition preparation is recording yourself. I know that I suggested this on my last preparation video last year, but it bears repeating. Periodically record your practice sessions, and listening back can give you a very candid view of your playing in that moment and will help you to know what to work on moving forward. I recorded these excerpts in preparation for this video, and it was incredibly helpful in hearing my mistakes and things that I liked in my playing to keep. I believe that a successful all-state audition includes playing what's on the page. Don't forget to play the printed dynamics and the articulations. But also play expressively. Don't be afraid to play with strong musicality, as it helps to make the music stand out from the crowd. Vibrato is always welcome. Make sure you play with great vibrato. Don't play any faster than you can play cleanly. In other words, if you're given a tempo range in which you may play, choose the tempo that you can play the best. Sloppy technique isn't a great thing for any audition. A couple of other tips in the few days before your audition. Number 1, get lots of great sleep. Number 2, play your excerpts for other people and especially include your band director in that. Number 3, nerves are very normal, so be okay with them. And remember that even professional musicians get nervous. Before you start playing, take a deep breath, think about the music that you want to play, and begin when you're ready. Prepare early and practice often, and you will feel really great walking in on audition day. Let's begin working on Anderson's 19th Etude from 24 Etudes, Opus 33. I think the first thing to think about when playing this excerpt is how to best give the music an adagio pace. This slow tempo shouldn't be too slow, as it needs to have a good forward and flowing momentum. The tempo marked on the excerpt is quarter note equals 63 and will greatly help the pace of this excerpt. Practice with a metronome so you correctly hear the tempo in your ear before you play. There's a couple of things about this excerpt too that you should notice as you begin to work on it. Notice the slur markings. The slurs often start on the non-main beat notes. In other words, many slurs start on the second 16th note of each group of 4, and it's important to bring each of those out carefully. Also, notice that there aren't an abundance of dynamics marked. Instead, you see more of long sweeping crescendos and decrescendos. I think this kind of dynamic marking helps to solidify the phrasing rather than worrying about the detailed dynamic map of the music. For example, really play into the swells in measure 7 and 8, and again in measure 13 and 14. You may notice that there's no decrescendo marked in bar 14, and that there's a piano marked in bar 15. I don't believe that that's a subito piano, and I would choose to play a small and quick decrescendo into the piano in bar 15. When excerpts such as this don't offer much in terms of dynamics, it's important to play up the dynamics that you have, and don't be afraid to make a lot out of the little that's there. There is one small rhythmic thing to notice in this etude as well. Be sure to play the 30-second notes in measure 2 and in 6 in the correct time, and don't rush them. In these same measures, you can lightly re-articulate the B flat following the 30-second notes, or they end up sounding like a tied note, which is not what's written. Finally, and most importantly, I want to stress the importance of playing this excerpt with grace, style, expression, and impeccable phrasing. The breathing will help in this, so be sure to take breaths where they're marked. I think one critical aspect to playing this musically and with the expression is to play with great vibrato on all the long notes. If you haven't yet experimented with playing with vibrato, I encourage you to try it. Vibrato is a natural form of expression for flute players. When you play with that shimmer in your sound, it makes the tone come alive and spins the phrases forward. There are some great online tutorials on vibrato, and doing that and watching these videos will greatly enhance your playing. I would guess that the flutists who make all-state all use vibrato, so make sure that you try it too. One last suggestion is to play with the very last bar slightly slowed down. Even though this is the first ending, it is the ending of the excerpt for this audition. So it's natural to make this ending sound final. So be very musical with it. Good luck, and I hope you play a great and beautiful audition.